Hello, good morning, respected participant. Today, I would like to invite you not only to listen to a presentation, but to walk with me into a forest. My name is Famila Juniarti from IPB University, and this is the research of the role of conservation education in the Dayak indigenous community of Ensaid Panjang Village. Let me begin with a story. Kalimantan has recorded the highest deforestation rate in Indonesia over the last 2 decades. In 2024 alone, West Kalimantan lost nearly 40,000 hectares of forest, mainly due to large-scale oil palm expansion. Almost half of this deforestation occurred in production forests, putting enormous pressure on customary forests, according to Simontini Data 2024. But despite this pressure, some forests still stand. Okay, next, local wisdom is the key to resilience, regulating harmonious human-nature relations. The key to the Dayak community resilience lies in their local wisdom. This practice contributes directly to sustainable natural resource management and to SDGs 15 about life on land, while the legal recognition and permit structure embody SDGs 17, emphasis on inclusive governance and shared decision-making between customary authorities, local government, and external facilitator. Okay, next this is a methodology. This study was conducted in September 2025 using a interview qualitative specifically literature study and strategic analysis approach. We collected primary data through interview with key stakeholder and processed secondary data using MACTOR analysis, a method designed to map actors, power relations, alliance, and conflict in complex governance systems. This is research stage, and in this strategy actor, in total we identified 12 key actors. And then we also formulated 4 main objectives ranging from biodiversity conservation and education to customary forest recognition and sustainability livelihoods. And the result map of influence and dependence between actors, state actor, particularly government agency and technical units hold high influence but low dependence, meaning they dominate decision-making processes. Meanwhile, indigenous institution, educator, NGO, and university function as relay actors. They are influential at the community level but highly level dependent on state support. Ironically, the Dayak community itself, including youth and women's groups, has low formal influence despite being the primary forest managers. Business actors and media appear relatively autonomous, but they hold latent power that could either threaten or support conservation efforts depending on how they are engaged. Next, our analysis identified 4 main objectives. Here is the key insight. Most actors strongly support education, biodiversity, conservation, and sustainable livelihood. This objective generate trust, cooperation, and shared action. But customary forest recognition is different. It is the most mobilizing and the most contested objective. Why? Because recognizing indigenous land rights challenges exciting land classification and corporate interest. This this is why Ensaid Panjang story teaches us an important lesson. Education can open doors that law alone cannot. The MACTOR results suggest a best strategy. First, strengthen what unit actors, local wisdom-based education, and schools non-formal, youth engagement, and women-led weaving enterprises, and ecotourism rooted in cultural narratives. This create a strong core coalition. Then with trust and evidence built, engage in structured dialogue, with dominant actors, government and private sector, to advance customary forest recognition. In this way, conservation education becomes but a shield and a bridge. In conclusion, this study demonstrates that conservation education is not a supplementary activity, but a central strategy for indigenous forest protection. Okay, this study shows the analysis not only maps actors but also reveals coalition and conflict dynamics in the conservation of Dayak customary forest in Sintang. This research enriched the community-based conservation literature and offers a practical framework with recommendation for further research on policy scenario and change in national policy and global market to support equitable and sustainable current conservation of indigenous forests. And as reference I use closing statement, the story of Ensaid Panjang teaches us one thing: forests survive when communities are empowered to teach, not just to comply. Indigenous people are not object of conservation; they are leaders of sustainable governance. When forests teach, people listen, and when indigenous people lead, conservation lasts. Thank you very much for your attention.